the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
I won't say that feels that way right now with Nico. I think that's just TBD and like a larger concern that I'm watching also with this very micro situation of who's Tennessee's quarterback's going to be in 25.
I agree. Ethan, so we kind of touched on basketball here a little bit. Your next desired Vols Hoop portal edition, based on the recent movement of guys who have committed here in the last week since we recorded, who do you have your eye on? Who would be your next desired name here?
Well, this is an obvious answer just because of where Tennessee's roster is right now. I mean, it's got to be Rodney Rice for one. That he's the top shooting guard available in the portal. Tennessee is in desperate need of ball handlers at the moment, with Gillespie and Bishop Boswell being kind of the only guys, maybe Amari Evans. And, that's not a winning combination. All respect to Bishop Boswell and Amari Evans. Like, you got to get...
And Ethan likes the guy.
Yeah, I like the guy. I like him. I like Bishop Boswell. But
Bishop's a huge question mark to me. I just can't do it. I don't know. Like, Bishop Boswell, he's a huge unknown. I know he's going to be good on defense. Like, that's the one known. I know Bishop Boswell is going to be a good on-ball defender. Like, I know that is going to be a staple of his game. He didn't look at the rim this year. Like, I don't even know what he looks like shooting-wise, like, at all.
There's part of me that thinks that Rick is just like, look, if you even think about looking at the rim, you're going.
Yeah, it's like you're focused when you go in. Like, you are defense only, sir.
If there are more than 5 seconds on the shot clock, it better not even cross your mind. That's what
that ball is moving.
Playing like this past season. And for what it's worth, I do like Bishop Boswell. I don't think he's what you need to be going after for a starting shooting guard or a combo guard moving into next season. And that's why Rodney Rice, I feel like, is so important. Obviously, Villanova has a huge offer out for him, reportedly. And he's going to visit USC and Eric Musselman, I believe, next week. So Tennessee, obviously a major player. Everyone you see online says they feel good about him, but you said the same thing about Isaac McNeely. And the Vols need to get another shooter. It would be fantastic to have specifically Rice, just because of the chemistry that he had with Gillespie. That's automatic transfer right there. I mean, they're one of the better backcourts in the nation last season at Maryland. They had a really, really good team, and obviously that would, I feel like, translate into this coming season. And the Vols front court right now is I'm as close to set in stone, I feel like, as you can get. You get Jalen Carey, you got Estrella with his question marks coming forward, obviously, but you got Mogpar, you got the guys that you want set in place. I don't feel like you have that set in place in the backcourt right now. And look, guys, if you miss out on Rice, there's a lot of nobody. There's a lot of nobody right now in the portal to go get. And you hope someone enters, maybe that is kind of a bigger name that you could go after, but it's Rice and then a lot of other dudes that you just never really heard of before that aren't going to move the needle as much as Rice would. So he needs to be the absolute major target, and obviously he is. That's what Barnes and company are pushing for right now.
It is a little concerning, though. He did the whole orange and white day, and then he was there for the weekend, and he got out of there, and then he's still scheduling visits with USC. That's got to be because Tennessee. He has leverage with Tennessee right now. Tennessee needs Rodney Rice in a major way because there's just not a lot of options right now. Because BYU needs to calm down. We need schools like BYU to calm it down here. Texas Tech, calm down. Will Warren made a great point last week on this program where he was like, I think he said, Tennessee should do, whenever Texas Tech is in the mix for a player, that's someone who Tennessee should go after. They're right about it. Follow who Texas Tech is rumored to be linked with and go get that player because it's probably the right idea. And it's a great way of following it. But I do think they don't really have an alternative. And it's the Rodney Rice thing seems like it's going to draw out a little bit. But then again, it's guys have time. Someone else can enter the portal or whatever. Tennessee's got money to throw around here. We still don't know what's going to happen with Nate Ament. We don't know what's going to happen with Elijah Freeman.
Those are different positions. That's my thing.
I mean, you hope
that's a separate conversation.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
What?
That's a separate conversation to me.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is those are all I'm talking about just the broader picture of there are things. There's a lot of juggling in terms of money and what is this roster going to ultimately be filled in with. Yes. It's very different if you're we get our yes from Rodney Rice, Nate Ament, and Elijah Freeman in a matter of a week, and we're okay, this roster got very expensive in a hurry. There's just different I don't know. It's interesting because the dominoes, you don't know which order these are going to fall and what the order of operations is for Tennessee of like, okay, we need to make sure this guy gets in the boat first, and then we'll go here, and then we'll go here. And then you're also talking to these guys of like, hey, we need to close here, or we are interested in you, but we have to like see what this person said. Like there's just, it's got to be an incredibly stressful situation right now because Tennessee's got the first big fish in the boat in Gillespie. They've, like Ethan said, like front court's done. Like the fact that what's the kid's name from Robert Morris? He's not in the mix anymore. That tells you everything you need to know. Like Tennessee is like, we're good, everyone's staying, like we're okay here. But they still have some questions here, and I think Rodney Rice, the fact that he got out of here this weekend without a commitment is you're a little nervous if you're Tennessee right now, I think, because there's just not a realistic fallback option right now.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And that's what I would be a little critical of them. Like on the wing, to me, I think that they've done a great job of it. So you got two names, Nate Ament, Elijah Freeman. I'm very skeptical they're going to get both of them. I would think they're probably both takes, but like I just don't think that's going to happen. And it feels like you kind of, all right, you have your two guys there. They've a little bit slow pit played Elijah Freeman. At least they haven't been pushing for him hard as they try to wait for an answer on Nate Ament. Whereas in the backcourt, and like I get it, like there's going to be like a contingent to be like, all right, why are you not going after what's the Sam Houston State kid? Wilkerson, I think, is this in Kentucky tomorrow. Yeah. Or some bigger names like that. To me, I'm like, well, that becomes really tough of trying to, you're selling this to top line shooting guards. Like it's hard to recruit two at one time for really essentially one starting spot. But you do have a backup spot. You still need to, even if you get Rodney Rice, you need to add another guard, in my opinion, to the roster. A bench guard, not a guy you're going to spend a ton of money on. So I guess I'm more confused as to, and look, maybe I just don't know about it. Maybe that just name is just not out there. Maybe they are having conversations and they're keeping guys in the back burners, and it's just not public knowledge to this point. But I think the fact that they aren't linked to more low-level guards to immediately have a backup plan, if Rice goes elsewhere, like that's where I would be a little bit critical of them. And again, maybe they're doing that and I just don't know. That's a possibility for sure. And that just doesn't seem like that would be overly difficult to do given, in my estimation of the roster, they still have two guard spots they're trying to add in the portal.
But I'm just not going to doubt them until it's over. Like I'm going to lean towards it's going to be fine. I think they're going to close on what they need to. That's my gut. I'm going to say they get Rice and Freeman and not Ament. I think
I was just about to say exactly what you said, Chase. If you had to ask me, I would assume that Rice is probably coming to Tennessee. It feels like just the best option for him. I mean, I'm not going to say I know what Rodney Rice is thinking right now, but just from he said in interviews he wants to win. Rick Barnes in Tennessee, or early new head coach at Villanova, a team that hasn't been good in 5 years. That right there is big. Plus the fact that obviously, like I've said before, he has the obvious chemistry with Gillespie. So from a fan perspective, from our perspective, it definitely seems like Rice is going to be leaning Tennessee.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, good news. When is Ament supposed to announce? Do we know? He
hasn't announced anything that I've seen.
Final thing here. Ethan Stone, baseball guy, was locked in over the weekend on Vols baseball. We almost had to get him to turn it off because I don't like, it was one of those where it's like, oh no, Ethan.
I will say I didn't watch on Saturday. I was doing something with my family on Saturday.
Oh, you're locking yourself in every weekend, sir. So the Sod's got to go.
Tennessee
baseball first.
Obviously wins the series. I'm 2-0 as a Tennessee baseball watcher this year. So.
That's great.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.